Hey, can somebody tell me how we see how many people are in the Discord right now? Does anybody know that in the chats? Let's see. Trying to see where I can see that. Who, like, not just who's in our audience, but who's on the Discord at all right now. Okay, I'm pulling people up on stage. Hey Dan, you're gonna be first because you sent me your stuff. Oh, okay. Yeah, the 10,000 members, but who's like on the Discord that's not in the live? That's kind of what I'm going for. You know what I mean? So, what's the available people we can get in here? Anybody know? Anybody know? I thought there was a way to see it. Yeah, the 10,000 is probably, I'm not sure. Okay, just as always, if you guys want to get up on stage, I'll bring you up. I really like talking to you guys. But if you come up on stage, please turn on your camera. I'm going to go with Dan first because he already sent me his stuff. And then we'll move on. Let's see. Dan, what's going on?
Hey, a couple things. So rocking and rolling with the phone calls.
Excellent.
Did another 20 yesterday. And
Great.
and
getting easier?
Yeah, I'm pretty good with it. You know what? It's kind of, I like looking at the pictures. I like finding the math, and I don't have any problem talking to the agent. So I'm at the point. I made 2 verbal deals yesterday.
Okay.
They were not long shots, but I sort of anyway. They didn't get traction, which is fine. Although one may come back to me, and the other was adamant they don't like doing creative. I found it really interesting. The one agent, well, a couple agents, before they're even closing this deal, they're trying to sell me other services. Hey, my husband's in the appliance. Yeah, like my husband's in the appliance business. Do you need management companies? I'm like, whoa, let's figure out if we have a deal here first before you sell me other things. So, anyway, it's kind of funny. So I
so what are you? The one that you sent me, what are you? What are you offering? What's? Give me the numbers too.
So I need a bit of help here. So they're asking 125. It's a single family home. The guy is moving. He's got about 70 grand left on a 76,000 mortgage. I think it's 3.1.
Oh, okay.
He's got about 38 or so thousand in equity. It's an interesting property. There's actually a little.
I'm sorry, he has 38 in equity. 38,000 in equity. What's that based on?
Oh, prop stream.
Okay. And then did you do any comps in the area just to see what other things are going for so you can figure out exactly what he has?
For equity?
Uh-huh.
I don't know how to do that.
Well, because if I have $100,000 house, I've put it up for, if it's worth 100,000, I probably put it up for 120, 130, right? And so we don't base equity on their asking price. We base equity on what 5 comps in the area say the asking price is.
Okay. All right. Okay. I can do that. I'm just sort of using PropStream so far. So
yeah, no, that's fine. That's a good place to start, but get your own comps as well.
Okay. I can do that next. So let's say the rents are around 13. The guy lives in it, but they're talking to the agent and
make you feel all better.
That does feel better. Somebody's got their mic on.
Yeah, I got it. I took care of it.
Okay. Yeah. So there's a little duplex on the property as well with 2 little studios.
Oh wow.
So yeah. So currently the guy rents those out month to month for $300 a pop. Said that if you fix them up a little bit, a bit of paint and maybe a bit of, you know, cosmetics, etc., you could probably get $400 to $500 a month for them. So, so what's interesting for me so far is the rents compared to the price. Obviously, I still have to get the equity. Fair enough.
Okay.
So what I don't. So I was talking with Bashir, and he suggested a hybrid deal. I don't know, and this is what I'm looking for is, you know, and the guy is selling his house. He wants to probably buy another house somewhere else. So I'm not quite sure how do we structure a deal where he feels good about selling it and the finance.
Okay. So I'm just looking everything up real quick. I usually come in and say, hey, I'll take over your loan. And that's it. That's all I offer. I don't offer any money. If you wouldn't really do a hybrid on this, this is going to be more of a, you'll pay him some money potentially. I don't like to pay much because, but I will say, you know, sometimes I can say, hey, I'll handle all your closing costs, and then I talk to the realtor, and I say, hey, Mr. or Miss Realtor, how about you take $500 for this assignment and just move on, because he doesn't really have a ton of equity. So he really doesn't have a ton of equity because his loan amount in 2021 was $76,500. And his loan balance is $70,000. So I would start there. I know it says 38 in equity on PropStream. I always cut that in half.
Okay.
And then I go even lower. Like I just am very much let's find out what his threshold is.
Okay.
And find out the threshold of the agent.
Okay.
Like, hey, it looks like this guy's really not going to make anything on his place. How about can I throw you $500 and get this thing done? And I'll just come in and take over his loan.
And with the I'll take over your loan conversation, is that also with the agent or that's with the owner?
You're always dealing with the agent.
That's what I thought. Yeah, I just want to be clear.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, for sure. Because the owner has the agent under contract, or the agent has the owner under contract.
All right.
So, and what I'm saying is that's where we start, okay? And we let them know that, hey, as it stands, you know, this is probably a cash offer that I could give you is probably going to be, you know, near 60 because I've got to do some work on it. Even if there isn't a ton of work, it's just something you want to use to your advantage. Again, in these negotiations, you guys, super important to realize that, how did I just lose my thought? Oh, in the negotiations, you want to make sure you start at the very bottom of your offers. Like, make sure you're like, and then slowly peel the onion, trying to find out, you know, what is it that they really want? You know what I mean?
Okay.
Because there's some people that you'll talk to them and they'll be like, yeah, I just want to get out of this. I'm living in another state now, and I just am tired of dealing with the renters and dealing with, you know, people doing whatever. I know this guy owns it, but he might be really hungry to go. You know, his daughter just had a baby, and he's like, I want to be around my daughter, and she lives states away, and I need to get out of here, and I'm moving right in with her, so I don't need to buy another house, or you know what I mean. So there's a million different things that could be going on, and so you want to make sure you get as much of an idea of why they're selling as possible, so you can solve their problems.
Okay. Cool. I've got a. Can I flip you another one that I'm working on?
Sure.
I think I just did it. So this is the owner. The owner has full equity in it. I guess some deal fell through, and so it's back on the market. He's asking 81. It's been renovated, so it's in not bad shape. The agent did some comps for me, and I don't quite, I'm still new to this, but the first thing on one of the reports said, maybe it's worth 75,000, something like that. Rents, I've got at about 1,100. So this one, well, why don't I ask you, how would you structure it? Or I can tell you how I'm thinking of structuring it, either way, it doesn't matter.
You tell me how you're thinking of structuring it, and I'll say yay or nay, because I want to make sure you're thinking the right way.
Yeah. So, and again, it seems like you and Richard think a little differently. So I'm not sure.
We
but
definitely think. No, we 100% think differently.
Okay. So
a great example is I think he had one yesterday, the day before, where he started giving them way more money than I would. And
right. Okay.
And
so at the moment, I'm probably more on the Richard thought. So again, give me your feedback. It's all good. Excuse me. So I'm thinking of offering him 81. He's asking 81 with a 10-year. I can't remember. I think it's just like a $5,000 deposit.
Okay, down payment.
Down payment. Thank you. And the rest on a 10-year at 0. So that's where I'm starting.
I like that.
Yeah, and that way, so I'm giving him his asking, and I lowered it. I was going to give him a bit more, and then when I saw the comps, I brought it down by 5-ish, and and then see what happens.
Absolutely, that's where you start. None of this negotiating is going to be simple for the seller. Like Richard, I mean, in this situation, you could, like, when they say no to your first offer, say, hey, how about if I give you 20 grand more with those terms? And then at the end of it, you'll balloon out with $20,000 more. If you do the math over the long run, that 20 grand more is like 0.004% interest. You know what I mean? It's not much. And so, then you can kind of talk them into taking it. But I really like to offer as little as possible. You can blame it on the comps and say the comps of the real shows this as probably around 70.
Yeah.
And again, these negotiations aren't going to be, if you get a yes right away, there's something wrong. You know what I mean? You've over-offered. Like, you've given them, they're like, yeah, absolutely, let's go. And you're like, let me see, I can see what I did wrong.
Yeah.
But this one's a duplex too, right?
I can't remember. I think it's
it looks like there's a little thing on the side. That's weird. Let me see what it says.
Family.
Okay, 110 days on market, which is great.
And he is motivated, according to the agent.
Okay, and that's you coming in at his asking price, because everybody else has poo-pooed his asking price.
Right.
And so, yeah, $1,700 a month.
Yeah, I think that's a little high.
If that's real life, then that's...
I base my numbers on 1,100, and it's still a good cash on cash. I can't remember, it's like 15 or 18 or something.
Yeah, and this says 17. I'm trying to see if it's a 4-bed, 2-bath. A 4-bed, 2-bath. Yeah, I mean, looks fine. Very rentable. It's a nice little place.
Yeah.
Okay, you want to make a phone call?
Sure. Yeah, give me a sec.
Let's make a phone call on the first one, see, and then we'll see how it goes. How's that sound?
Sure, on the one with the duplex?
Yeah. And the little buildings too. So what's the total? Yeah. What's the total rent on all that? With the
low, like conservative 2,000. That's with the 2 studios at 300 up. He felt you could get 500 if you tidied them up, did some cosmetics. So I left it low.
Okay, cool. Perfect.
And he felt 12 to 1,500 for the house. I put it at 13. or 13 and change. I just rounded it to 2,000.
Okay. Perfect.
All right.
Okay, hey, everybody on TikTok, Dan's going to make a phone call real quick on the property that he found. What's really cool is is that one, what's the purchase price on that one? That he's
125.
Call client care at
125.
star 611 for assistance.
All right, let's see how it goes.
Long distance charges 581. Your call cannot be completed at
come on.
dialed. Check
Sorry,
the number
I don't know
and
what's
try
going on.
again.
No worries.
Here.
Double check the number here. Oh. Yeah.
Okay, guys. So as he makes this phone call, let me get I'm going to show you. Where did we get? Oh, I've already went past it. But yeah, no. So this the hardest part of the whole thing is finding the realtor that is actually working. He's in Canada, so we're going to hear that message every time.
Here we go. All right.
You've reached Trent.
I had a really good
Killing
chat
you.
with him.
Okay, we'll see what happens here.
You've reached Trent.
On the other one, Trent,
Yeah.
Even though I did a balloon, I upped the payment amount just because there was room for that. Does that make sense?
And when they ask for it, for sure.
Okay.
You've reached Trent.
One more time.
Yep. Let's see what's up.
Charges may apply.
Okay. Well.
Try the next one.
Yeah.
I'm going to try the next one.
Yeah. Go for the next one.
Okay.
Okay, guys, this one is 80,000, right?
81, yeah.
81,000. But the beauty and this is what's cool is when you have a property that's like let's say 81,000, you're expecting to get at least $800 a month for it. This one's going to cash flow more, so that's why it's one to call on. So if you guys are doing this and trying to do it without signing up for Hold My Hand Wholesale, know that you can go in and you can start just making offers on any properties. Just go in and you need to start calling them. You just need to go in and find properties in Zillow that are the rents are 1% of the purchase price. So, for example, if it's a $100,000 property, it should rent for $1,000. Super easy to find out. And then just make a phone call and talk to the realtor. I think that'll kind of help you understand what we're doing. But also, I've got a free month for new students up in my the link in my bio, my Stan store. Give it a go. It's one full month you get for free. So,
Please try your
why
call
not?
again.
No.
Yeah, I'm not getting
No, right. Okay, well, I'll leave you on stage. If you get it, just start waving your hands around, and we'll give it a go.
Sounds great. Thanks. Oh, let me just double check. I made a couple notes. I have one last question.
Yep.
No, but I got an agent that's expecting to bring a 250K fourplex online in the next week at 3,000 income. So,
Okay, so when you say 3,000 income, is that 3,000 in rents or $3,000
yes.
over rents?
Rent. Sorry. Rent.
Okay, the rents are 3,000 and it's 250.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's one to call on for sure. I mean, you're telling me that this is this is somebody that you called and they had a pocket listing, right?
Yeah. So basically, I was calling one of those isolated dots. You know, the dot's not in the that you said to call, and was chatting to him. And then as we were wrapping up the call, I said, "Listen, you know, I'm new to the market, and I'm looking for investment properties. You know, ideally with a over 1% of market value of the house for rents." And then
Yep.
he said, "Well, I got a guy in that has a place that I'm expecting to get the listing on next week." So
Great.
I've covered 3 or 4 like that by having the discussion and then
Most
just
all of
having
my things I bought have been pocket listings. Most of the ones are pocket listings. It's not the one I originally called on. So
yeah,
that's perfect.
cool. All right, great. Thanks.
All right, let's go to Indiana. Let me mute. Your mute is on. There we go. You're on mute. Just so Indiana, you're on mute.
Hey, good morning.
Hey, how are you?
Pretty good, and you?
Good. Thanks.
Um, I'm new. I'm like I just barely made my second payment on on Help Your Hand Wholesale. But I
Okay.
have a little bit of understanding with like fix and flip. Just been working on coming up with capital, and that's when I came across Hold My Hand Wholesale.
Okay.
So I came. How do I send you the property so you could see what I'm looking at?
So if you right click on my face on the video,
Okay,
that thing will come up, and the third one down says message.
on your things on the live stream.
Yeah, right click. Yeah, just right here. Boop, right, like here or here. And so it'll
And
pop up. It'll pop up, and the third thing down says message.
okay.
Yeah, so just click on that, and then it's probably going to ask you to be friends with me.
I think I am your friend. Oh no, it says send friend request. Okay.
Okay.
But it does say that I can message. So someone
Let's see. Okay, I got your friend request. Let's get everybody going. Okay. Good. And then just put it in the message to me, and there it is. Good job. Perfect.
awesome. Now this was not one that I came across um on like Zillow per se. It was actually a Facebook post where I
Oh,
guess
good.
the owner was posting 30K down, 5% interest rate, their asking price. And it sounded like more so what I see on lives all the time. So I was like,
Right.
okay. So I messaged him and I said, hey, I'm interested in your property. Can we discuss further details? And he said, are you an investor or are you looking to live in it? Because investors been like shortchanging me and they're wasting my time. So if you're going to waste my time, I kind of don't want to talk. I was like, well, I'm actually inquiring based on what you've already stated, 30%, well, 30K down, taking over your payments, like
Right.
more so along that line. I got on Prop Stream this morning because he just barely sent the actual physical address this morning. And that's
Okay, it
pretty
says
much
sold on Zillow.
You said it says sold on Zillow?
Yeah, 1037.
Sold when? Because they purchased this back in 2023.
Okay.
So let me see when it sold.
And you talked to the realtor.
Well, no, it was I'm pretty sure it was probably the homeowner.
Oh, you talked to the owner. Okay. So you've made
Mhm.
contact. So it's
Right.
probably still, then this might be wrong. Okay. And so he's asking for 30K.
So it sold in the last time it sold was 2023
Yep.
when they first
And yeah,
purchased it because they had just built it then.
yep.
And on February 28th of this year, the listing was removed. Like it was listed for sale at 500, but it's since then been removed.
Okay, so
So
you talked to this owner, right? You're not just, this isn't just from what he said in the ad.
correct. I've talked to him
Okay.
and he pretty much said the same thing in the ad. So he sent
Okay.
let me pull up the message. Um he says 5% rate owner finance property for sale in Volusia County, brand new, 2023 built. Only 7% down payment required, no new mortgage needed. Um
Great.
it's 5 bed, 2 bath. The down payment is 30,000. The monthly payment is 3,300, and he says that includes mortgage, taxes, insurance. Closing date April 7th through 8th. Loan duration until October 2053. If you buy it, you become the owner, and on the deed and the title, meaning you will have the authority to sell it, refinance it, or whatever you wish to do.
Okay, perfect. So he's saying it's assignable basically. So here's what I'm seeing though. He's mixing his terms up. He's saying it's seller financed. It's not. Because he only has $33,000 in equity. Um, so that's probably a reason that he's trying to get that 30. What it comes out to about 30 grand. Is that what it is?
Right.
So at that point, it's still bank owned, and so the bank is we want to keep that mortgage. So call him back and just say, hey, I see what you need and what you want. Did you run all the numbers on how much it cash flows at his
Um,
price?
No, because like the rents on Zillow, they say 29, but he wants 33. So I don't know what that difference is.
We go for the lower number. He wants 33 a month.
Yeah, 3,300.
Rents, what did you find rents to be?
Rents well, at least on Zillow, it's 29, but when I looked on PropStream, I think it was like 21. Yeah, it says estimated rent is 21.
Okay, so I think he's a little bit confused because his
I think what it seems like he's trying to do is basically what we're trying to do is cash flow
well,
off the property.
he's trying to keep a little bit of it so he can make some money because his mortgage is 4%. His payment is 2,100 for the mortgage with his bank, and so he's asking for 3,000 a month,
33.
which
Let me
he's just trying to make.
let me double
But
check.
yeah,
'Cause
so,
I'm pretty sure it's
yeah,
33 that he said. Yeah, monthly
yeah.
payment 3,300.
Yeah, just call him and say, hey, I can take over your loan, and that's about it. Because he's messing with you. He's trying to get money off of the interest. He's trying to get more money per month than he owes. So in a weird way, he won't be able to do what we need to do because it sounds like he wants to keep his name on title, and he can't because he doesn't own it outright. For seller
Right.
financing to work, he has to own it completely. And so
Okay.
just call him back and just be like, hey, I think you might be a little bit confused on what everything means, but you're not seller financing this because you don't own it outright. Or do you own it? You can ask him, like, hey, do you own this completely outright? Because public record shows that you've got a 4% loan that you have to pay $2,100 a month for. And it only comes, we're only getting $2,900 in rents, and so it's kind of a tough one to do. We could do it if he just takes over the loan, like we just come in and take over the loan.
Okay, so if we do decide to take over the loan, what would we pay him any down payment for the equity that he currently has?
I don't like to, because that for us, our whole point is we want to sell this, and so I can sell something that has $30,000 in equity way easier to a buyer than something that's got zero equity and they're just taking it over. So I don't offer anything.
Okay, because it does say estimated equity is about 33,000.
Yep.
So is that why he thinks he's getting a 30,000 down payment?
Yep.
For the equity on the home?
Yep.
So,
but he's not thinking about closing costs and all that stuff. The trust cost, that all's going to eat up a ton of his equity, because we got to pay about $4,000 for the trust and another $3,000 in closing costs, and so we want to make sure that we've got everything. He understands that he really doesn't have any money.
Okay.
In equity. Okay. So start
Okay.
there. Just say, here's what we can do. Did he say why he's moving?
No.
Let's find his motivation. That's the most important thing. Any call you
Okay.
guys ever make, motivation, because that gives you reasons that to negotiate with him.
Right.
Because he might be like, geez, I just I need $10,000 to get out of this, but I really want the 30. He'll give you his numbers if you're just friendly with him and hang out with him for a minute.
Okay. So just say, hey, basically
I wouldn't explain too much to him. He knows where he's at. I mean, we always feel like we need to explain it to him. I would just say, hey, talk to my guys. Best we can do is just come in and take over your loan. How would that work for you? Would that be a
Yeah,
problem?
because we'll have to cover closing costs. We'll have to cover.
Yep.
Okay.
So see what he says, and then don't make a counter offer while you're talking. Just say, okay, let me go run some numbers, see what I can do. I got a better understanding of what you need, and maybe I can help you out.
Okay.
All right.
Now, question.
Yeah.
Separate from this property, really quick. If I find a house that is very low in price, like let's say $50,000, but they have really high equity, like over $300,000, is that worth getting into? If you
Absolutely.
have to obviously repair it?
Depends on it. All depends. Everything's going to be depending on how bad it is. Like if it's to the studs and you get it for $50,000 and its ARV is 300, I'd probably look at that. Like it's only $50,000. Your repairs are usually maxed out around 150, and so now you're in it for 200 and you can sell it for 300. That's a good deal. Because now that's a really good deal.
Okay. Because, I have another one that I was just gonna run past, but the equity was like almost $700,000, but there's not anything in that area that is around that price, so it was kind of hard for me to understand what the ARV is once it is fixed and flipped. So I just was kind of just letting it go, but it sounds like equity is a big thing.
Did you make a call on it? Did you talk to him?
I was talking to the agent and everything, and he was just saying, he was like, yeah, they want $55,000, but on PropStream they only owe like 14, but the equity was really high. So I just was confused as to how.
Right. Yeah, no, that would be a great deal.
I was completely confused.
Again, we don't know their motivation. It could be, I mean, there could be
it's an estate owned, so they were just wanting to get off of it.
Oh, so yeah, so this is one of those situations where somebody got it, they didn't realize they were going to get it, they don't want to deal with it, and they're like, "Hey, give me 50 grand and you can have it."
Right.
So yeah, I was
And
on
you
that
keep
all day
the
long.
equity that's on it. And they're next
Yeah.
to a like a mobile home park, but it's a house that has like 22, I think, 100 square feet in Georgia. And I mean, I was just astonished by the equity on PropStream, because I was like,
Yeah,
it
I
will
would
need to be fixed, but it's not a whole lot. It's not like,
I would definitely call them back and say, "Hey, I can give you a cash offer of 45. Go a little lower than what they're asking for, and then they'll give you a little bit more of an idea of why they need 50."
okay,
You know what I mean? Because
yeah,
if you're close and this is found money for them. That's what's weird,
right.
is sometimes you get people that are just like, I didn't have this before, but I'll take 50 grand. That'd be awesome.
Okay.
You put that down. Okay.
She was about to. She looked at me like, no, ma'am, I'm not doing that. But okay, I'll re-contact that agent, because I've been trying to kind of like work with him. 'Cause I guess on
Yeah.
Zillow, once you reach out to one agent, that's kind of like your agent. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
So I'll reach back out to him about that cash property,
Okay.
and then I'll reach out to this guy about this one and see what we can do. And then what I said, just submit them on
Yeah, you can either buy
Buy
box
box?
or you can split it right with me. I'll put my I've got a student help form, so we can help you walk it through the back end of it. No problem.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Okay.
I'll do those
See ya.
calls, and then I'll probably get back on before you get off today.
Oh, good. Perfect. Let me know
Awesome.
what happens.
Yes, sir.
Alrighty. All
Okay.
right. Let's go to Coleman, but it doesn't look like Cole to me. I might be
Cold life
crazy.
in Brooklyn.
Hi, Brooklyn. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Good.
Let's see. I
Yeah,
think
Cole
you guys
started
did
doing
you
this, and I got addicted as well. So here we are.
crazy, right? It's so fun.
It is so much fun. I thoroughly
It's
enjoy it.
totally a treasure. It 100% is a treasure. Wow, look at what you found. Okay, let's see.
Yeah,
This is
so
the
this is the cash
Vermilion?
deal. Say that again. Sorry.
It's in Vermilion.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Just want to make sure I was on the right one.
And then I'll send you the other one once you've looked at this one, because the other one I think I kind of get this one over with, but the other one's more interesting.
Okay, did you get a rent on this place?
Yeah, this one gets right now $51.50 a month, because it's got like 8 units and it's always like full vacancy, fully occupied. But it also gets like 75 to 125 a month from the coin laundry.
Oh yeah, those are the best.
Yeah. And then she just upped the rent on one of them for 200. So altogether I did it at like 54.50.
Okay, is she? Do they have management in place, or do they manage it themselves?
Pretty sure she was the one personally managing the place.
Okay.
And she knew
Okay.
a ton about its history and stuff. It actually used to be a hospital there. It was like the first hospital in the city. Guess that's what
Oh,
it
no
used to be.
kidding.
That was crazy cool.
Yeah, that is cool. Okay, and so why is she selling?
Sorry, say it again.
Why is she selling?
It sounds like she's not the owner, but it sounds like they don't want it anymore, like out of their hands kind of thing. So
Okay, tired landlord.
yeah. I mean, that's a lot of units and a lot of occupants. And since it's like the college town and it's mostly students.
Oh,
I think-
okay, great. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
really good.
So they're probably
Okay.
in and out of theirs maybe more than long-term tenants. So
Well,
that's
here's the
probably-
deal with a lot of colleges. You rent it out yearly to them,
Yeah.
and then when they went out, they sell their lease to somebody else.
Hmm.
And so, if if you can do that, then it's a year-round lease. Because people are always worried about summertime and wintertime when the semesters end. But you just say nope. It's a year-round lease. Sell it to somebody else if you want to.
Mm-hmm. They weren't. Yeah, he wasn't so much. I think it's the guy, the seller. But I offered the seller finance thing, but he was like, yeah, he'd be interested in the cash offer. So
Okay, what are you thinking cash
I went
offer?
a little lower on the cash, but
Well, a lot lower on the cash. That's the beauty
yeah,
because we do the low on the cash. I think you already know this, but we do the low offer on cash to incentivize them to see a difference. Like we were kind of poo-pooing their place, and so they're like, "Wait, what do you mean it's only worth $250?" And you're like, "Well, there's a lot of updating it needs, blah blah blah."
yeah,
Not always the case, but that's what we. And then you come around and you say, "Well, how about if I got you your asking price, but on a set of terms?"
yeah. And that's
Um,
what I tried to do. But
And did he? And he's like, I don't want terms.
yeah, I think he's gotten some seller finance offers, but yeah, he's not
And he owns
interested.
it
I tried
outright
to
for
do
sure.
that whole spiel for sure.
Okay, and he owns it outright for sure. He doesn't have.
Yeah, from what I can tell on PropStream and everything, all the information I have. I mean, I could ask her just to
Yeah,
confirm before I do the cash offer, but sorry, my dog is playing with this toy, Roxy.
sounds like a bird.
So,
Okay, yeah. You want to make the call right now? Let's make a cash offer.
yeah, I already sent it to her. So like
Oh, you did.
they want the 400,000. Like he's up for that.
Oh, good. So 400 is your cash offer.
Yeah,
Great.
I should have went lower, but
Always
400
go
is okay.
lower. Like
Yeah.
it's funny. Here, let me get inside your brain for a second.
Okay.
Why didn't you go lower?
I think I may have mistaken this place was 410,000, and then I was thinking 5 or 50,000 less when I went. 400,000. No, sorry, I was thinking it was No, this place is listed as
439.
439. I thought it was 450, then I went down to 400. So I'm always
Okay,
going.
so you just,
about 50
yeah, so
less.
you felt like you were lowballing, but it
Yeah.
wasn't. Yeah. I'm ruthless when I come to my cash offers. I lowball like crazy
Okay.
because they can always say, "Well, no, but but would you go this?" And it's usually lower than what I would have asked.
Yeah. Okay.
So, but I mean, still, Ed, now what are the comps in the area? Did you get comps? Well, that's kind of hard, huh? Because this one's 12. It almost doesn't matter the comps in the area because it's going to cash flow how much?
To the buyer every month, 900.
Yeah, so you got a good cash flow.
Yeah, it's not bad. The only reason I brought this to your attention was because the rent. That's always going to be rented out. College area. I mean,
Yeah,
5,500 a month. That's pretty good.
delicious. Yeah, no, that's great, and you can always bring the rents up.
Yeah.
I have a super rich uncle, and I try to get advice from him. I have a television production company, has nothing to do with
Cool.
real estate. And I said, what's the secret? And he's like, well, if you want to get richer, just raise rents. I'm like,
Yeah, I don't give them a choice. Raise the rent. That's what
that's
everybody.
awesome. I don't. That's not what I'm talking about. And so yeah, it's funny, but I mean, it's true. You get to decide the value of the house by what kind of rent you get. That's really kind of the deal. Yeah,
Can
I would move forward on this one for sure. I think this is sellable. Yeah.
Sweet. I will get that one over. I want to send you this one though, because this is
And
the
keep
one.
in mind, your assignment fee is directly correlated to how much money you save on it. Because
Yeah.
you can come in and say, okay, now I'm going to sell it for 450 or whatever. But if the market says, nope, it's only worth 410, then you've got closing costs, you got, everything else. And so you'll come out with like $1,000. And so think about that as your money. And you want to keep as much of your money as possible. So you lower the price as much as you can.
I have to truly lowball them. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and a lot of people, the reason I asked you your mindset was a lot of people are like, oh, I felt bad.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Bad,
why
yeah.
are you feeling bad? You're just talking to somebody. You're making a suggestion. Oh, I felt
And then I
bad.
can counter. Yeah. To get what
Yeah, you got to go low so you can get an idea of what they're even thinking, you know? And don't feel bad. Never, ever, ever feel bad because you're helping them out of the situation. You
Exactly.
never know what's going on. And that's why the more you can get the motivation, then we're like, oh, this guy's, you know, he's motivated to leave because he hates his neighbor, you know? And that's all. And like, it has nothing to do with money. Yeah, but go ahead and do that one. Okay, what's the next one?
And this one to you. This one's interesting because he's going through a divorce at the moment. And
There
he
we
just
go. Now we're done.
I think he was just gonna give the property to his ex-wife there, and then he said this might be something she's interested in, getting payments every month and not having to worry about. It's a fourplex, so I don't think they want to worry about renters and stuff. So it's listed. You want me to write down the numbers for you in here?
No, I got yeah. Whatever you come up with, you can send it over to me, and I see it listed for 410.
And I found out that it had he's got 87, he gave me the numbers. He's got 87,000 left on it. And it's at like a 4% interest rate. So initially I didn't know what was owing on it. And I said, let's say you've got less than 70,000 left to pay. I said we could do like a down payment of 70,000, give you 10 over your asking, and then do a longer balloon years at like 1,000. Something similar to that, but the cash flow looks really good on numbers.
Even at those numbers?
Yep. So
What's the rent?
I was pretending, let's say we do 90,000 to cover his debt, offer him just his offering price. Rent, he gets like $4,000 a month. And then I did payment to seller at 1,000. Buyer's getting 1,668, so a 17% cash on cash.
Okay, we went to cash and cash over 20.
Okay.
What have you offered him so far?
Yeah, that was I offered him cash $360. And then I did my kind of the seller finance, but also finding out if he had anything owing.
Right, so that's a hybrid.
It was like a 70,000 down potentially, with 10 over. So I can put that in
so
cash on cashes.
What percent is 70,000 of the purchase price of 300?
His listing price or?
What's his listing price? 400?
Price is 410.
Okay, and you're offering him basically 100 grand. So you're offering him 25% down payment, which nobody's going to buy.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't know if it was worth it to, like, if you guys did that, like, just get rid of their debt so that you don't have to take over that small amount of mortgage, but then it's just not worth it, I guess, in the end.
Well, that's a lot we're paying 100 grand for.
Yeah.
But then we're also paying him everything else too. And so it's something that investors aren't going to be. Investors want to be at 7% down payment.
Okay.
Structuring it would be a hybrid. So we'd give him, 7% down.
Okay.
And then we would come in and say, well, you still owe this, so we have to pay whatever it is a month. Let's see. Oh, it doesn't even say. So, I mean, you're still paying the note off for him, the mortgage, and then something for her monthly. So I would try to get an idea if she would be interested in $200 a month that she would get a month, and don't talk about a balloon. And then say, because there might be a situation where she's like, great, I don't work. That $200 a month would really help. Okay. So again, I think you were being nice.
Yeah. Okay. I guess that'd be nice.
And so you're looking to solve all their problems when they got themselves into a situation that they're in.
Yeah.
And so your goal should be take advantage of that motivation to make a great deal. Not to be mean, not to be like, but they're in a crappy situation sometimes. This one's not so bad. Yeah, I mean I think a lowball cash offer on this was where'd you go on that for the lowball cash?
360.
350?
360. I
360.
just kind of in the area.
You love 50 grand. You're all about 50 grand, aren't you? Dropping at 50.
I just
Okay.
heard the number, and then that's what I go down at. Yeah.
You're like, I'm going there.
Now.
Let me burst your bubble a little bit. Everybody that sells their house is going to put it on market for 20 to 30,000 more than they think they can get.
Yeah.
So now you're just 20 grand under, what it's actually. So get really used to checking your comps in the area and base everything you're doing on the very lowest comp in the area. Okay. And then go 50 below that.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yep.
Good.
Below that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll try to do the hybrid thing maybe. So 200 she could get a month and then take over the mortgage kind of thing.
Yeah, and again, 200 a month on a 410 house is low.
Yeah.
But we don't know where they're at. And so we're doing with our offers, we're kind of fishing. And so we're trying to see, okay, maybe let's try to get some information out of them, because they sometimes people are silly enough to say, oh wow, 200 is way low. Can you go 300? And you're like,
yeah.
Ching, yes, please. You know what I'm saying? And so it's all about that conversation.
What mortgage payment is, right?
What's that?
He might reveal what his mortgage payment is every month. Yeah. Okay.
Exactly.
I know he's at 4% on 87,000.
And you can be straight up with them when it comes to like working a creative deal. Say, hey, can you send me your mortgage statement just so I can see where you're at on everything, so I can see the real numbers. The other thing I do is I do 25% of the rents is what I want to pay them per month. So I get 3/4, they get 1/4. It's just like a super simple, quick way to. That's your first offer, and that's usually lower, way lower than what you need to do once you run your numbers. But just start there.
Okay, cool. I will
All right.
work on that.
Well, tell Cole hi if he ever comes back.
Sounds good. I will.
He just disappeared.
Yeah. The dog out,
Did he
probably.
fall?
Got a
Did he
puppy,
fall?
so she's peeing a lot.
Oh, it's like having a baby.
Yep, pretty much. Thank
Hey,
you so
good
much
job.
for your help.
You bet. Take it easy.
You too.
See ya. All right. Nico, what's up?
Hey Trent, what's up?
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good.
I sent you the address of the property that I'm working on. It's 2116 Howell Avenue.
Okay, let me check it out. Stand by here. Let's see. How old are you, Nico?
18.
Nice. I love that you're doing this. That's so great.
Yeah.
Props to you.
Thank
And you got a full-on Shaun White vibe. Does anybody ever tell you that?
No.
Let's see here real quick.
You got the address though? Okay.
Yeah, I'm looking at it in PropStream. Do you have PropStream?
I'm using PropWire right now.
Okay, cool. All right, so we got, looks like, what are you seeing they owe on this place?
515.
And add another 43,000. They've got 2 loans.
Okay.
So I've got 560. So almost 565 total. They've got, how much equity do you think they have?
I have. What does it say on your end?
I'm seeing equity of about 17,000.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So
Yep.
that's all good news in my eyes, because you can just take over their loan.
Yep. So that's what I have because it's at 4.37%.
Yeah, I've got I've got a 393 for the 43,000 and a 4.5. So assume it's 4.5 for everything, and then here, hang on 2 seconds. Hey Dan, did you get your realtor? Okay, I'll come back to you in a second.
Yeah.
Okay, so your offer, what are you thinking of offering? And have you talked to the realtor?
Yes, I have.
Good job. So what are you thinking of
So-
offering?
The okay, so the takeover, the you said 560 at the 4.5%, but the offer, the 950, and then 3,300 a month with 50K down, and then also for the repair cost, I have 200,000, and it's 1.3 million.
You're going to give him 50K down.
Yep.
He only owes 17,000. So why are we giving him an extra $30,000 for nothing?
Okay, so you think just give him what he owes for the down payment at the 17,000?
I wouldn't even give him that. I would say, hey, you're kind of screwed here. I'll take this monkey off your back. You won't have to make your payments every month. And I can just take over your loan, because the loan is what are you seeing as rents?
I have it for the total for the building. Section 8s are at 32,000, and private listings are at 23,000 for the total for the building.
23,000 or 2,300?
1,000.
23,000?
Yes.
What am I missing here? How is it? Okay, does that make sense to you that
Yeah, for all 27 units.
there's 27 units.
Yep.
Okay, we might not be seeing the right information here. Because if he's saying he owes, what has he said he owes? Did you get into that with him?
For what he owes on the mortgage, no. I am just going off what I saw on PropWire for now.
Yeah, maybe the next, and is this a for sale by owner?
No.
Okay.
Realtor.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was totally on the wrong property now. Oh, no, I wasn't. Okay. Okay, wow. Oh, okay, let's see. It's only 905. Okay, so he does have more equity than PropStream's saying. PropStream has not been very correct lately. Let's see. So, well, maybe that's right. Maybe he's got way more equity than that. So if he's at 560, what are your comps? Did you comp it out?
I couldn't. That's what I wanted to talk to you about, because I couldn't find any comps for it
Okay.
in the area.
What are there any other apartments in the area that?
Some within a mile, about
Yeah.
a million.
We found some.
Three.
Yeah. So
Within a mile?
Within a mile, about 130.
And how many units?
What was it?
Similar size.
Yeah, it was similar size. I think like 14 units.
Is that your dad?
Yep.
Yeah.
You're dad of the year for doing this with him. I think it's awesome that you guys are working together. I think it's that's the world needs more dads, because that's everything. Like having you guys working together on this is amazing. Okay, so yeah, we're more in the commercial realm. I really want to know what he owes and what he needs. He potentially has. Are you guys seeing that he potentially has like 300,000 in equity?
That's what we're kind of around 300 to 350.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's gonna want some money to take over the loan.
That's why
I think
that's why we were kind of thinking it'd be more of a hybrid. The other factor in this is the realtor says the contract cannot have an assignment fee on it. She's very familiar with wholesaling, and the seller will not accept a contract with an assignment fee.
Okay. So you guys planning on buying this?
No.
So you're gonna move on because if they're not gonna let you assign it, we can't make any money on the contract.
Okay.
Ooh, bad news.
So we can't double close as an option.
Well, you can. That's an option, but it's this is kind of. I mean, right now you're saying that it's 26,000 a year. I mean, a month on 26.
Yeah.
So they're getting rents about 1,000 a unit. Is that what we're basing on?
Yep. Basically. Yeah.
Um,
A little under
we
that.
definitely
Yeah.
could. Yeah, we definitely could double close as long as we really get the price down to a point where it makes sense for an investor. This is a tough one, guys. I mean, it's such a the numbers are weird. PropStream's giving me terrible numbers. But on its face value, I mean, you're paying $1 million for 26,000 a month. Like, yeah, that's pretty great.
Yep.
Usually on $1 million property, you're looking at it 10,000 a month being good. So this is great. Where is this? It's in Tennessee. Okay. And is it near? I'm trying to see what it's near. So it's near. Is it part of the? Oh, that is the place. And it's got a high school right next door.
Yep.
Golly. So did they send you a rent roll?
No.
It's currently unoccupied,
Yeah.
and it's been on the market.
Unoccupied all 26 units?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, there's something going on here. That's weird. I wonder why that is. Did you ask him why it's completely unoccupied?
Well, he's had a problem in the past with squatters, and he's actually had this on the market for about 3 years. So I think we could probably get it lower. Yes.
No way. Okay, I'm trying to figure out. Yeah, we gotta really figure this one out because it's funny. Once a building has squatters, they're so hard to get rid of because in the squatter world, they all know that they can flop there and be good to go. Yeah, we need to find out his motivations. Like, hey, it's been on for 3 years. Are you willing to just walk away from it? Is my first question, because there's going to be a lot of work that needs to happen for you guys to get it up to where it's because maybe it's. Let me look at the pictures. Maybe it's hammered more than I think. Is it pretty hammered?
I mean, the
What did
realtor told me she estimated about 200,000 repair costs.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
And how recent are these pictures? Do you know?
I'm not sure on how recent the pictures are now.
Okay, so and potentially it could be condemned as well. So, I mean, like the plywood on the that. Okay, so yeah, we need to talk to the seller more and find out.
Okay.
This is one you could probably go in and lowball it like 400 cash offer.
Okay.
Yeah.
I had my low ball at 590, but
Okay, yeah, let's go 400. If nothing else, that gets the conversation rolling. Because he's paying what did we figure he was paying per month on a on his flop house?
About 3,000, 3,200, I think, between the two.
Yeah. So let's get into his brain. Yeah, he's at 33. Yeah. So let's get in his brain. He's got a property that's making nothing every month and costing him $3,000. And so we can say, hey, we do this all the time and we would love to come in and take that burden away from you. And you can walk away from it and your headache's gone. He's been trying to sell it for 3 years.
yeah. 1,080 days or something like that.
Wow. Yeah, I think that's what you do. You do a low cash offer of about 400. Or say, I'll do you one better and come in and take over your mortgage, which is 5, what is it? 3 630 is what he owes, but he's got a decent interest rate. And just explain to him it needs a ton of work. And so that's almost even high, taking over his mortgage and giving him nothing, no down payment, nothing. Because right there we're talking 580, I'm sorry, 630 plus 250 is what you said, guys?
Yeah.
So we're right at his purchase price at that point.
Okay.
Very sellable. Any investor that doesn't have to put a down payment down is going to think it's delicious. A lot of investors, if they're in this area, have construction crews that work for them, that they're their crews, and so their cost will not be $250, and so there'll be a cost savings there. Yeah, I think this is the biggest part of this is the fact that it's already been squatted on. It's going to have a bad reputation, so we have to get rid of that as well. And so that's all your arguments is, we can come in and take it from you. Get rid of your $3,000 a month, headache, or 30. Let's go 33,000 or 3,300, and see what he says. Because at this point, getting in his mind, he's like, okay, I'm done. I'm tired. I'm lazy. I don't want to get this thing fixed up. Somebody else has to come in and take it over. And he doesn't get anything. But he's not bleeding. He won't be bleeding that 3,400 a month. Plus, I'm sure there's other costs involved with, security and getting people out of there and all that stuff. So yeah, make that go 400 cash. And taking over the loan, nothing down. See what he says.
Okay.
And also talk to the realtor and say, I don't know how to pay you anything because this poor guy's going to have to pay you out of his pocket. So maybe she'll take $500. Like I've done less, but start with $500 and see what happens. So it's going to be kind of an aggressive offer, and I think it's warranted. I think you can explain all of it away. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm kind of cool. I'm kind of curious to see what happens with this. So make sure you bring it back. I go live Monday through Friday, 8 till 10. So, and plus being 18 and you're chasing this, and even better, your dad's, hanging out with you. You guys are winners. That's awesome.
Awesome. Well, thank you for your time.
Absolutely. And definitely check back because I have a sneaky feeling that he's going to say yes to one of those.
Okay. Yeah, I'll bring it back up.
I think he's worn out. I really do. Dad, what do you think?
Yeah, thank you, Trent.
All righty, guys. See ya.
See ya.
Okay, Dan, what's up?
Just a quick question I meant to ask you before. Yeah. I found looked like an okay deal maybe, but it's on foreclosure. So I just wanted to ask you.
It's foreclosed already?
Yeah.
Once it's foreclosed, the bank owns it, and so we can't do anything with it.
Okay, so it's not worth looking at.
No, because the bank's going to want to refi it or do a whole new loan on it at the current rate. If they do anything, you might be able to get it a little bit. It's such a hassle, but pre-foreclosure, before it goes into foreclosure, is my sweet spot. That's what I love. So I will come in day of and pay up their back payments and stuff, and just take over the house.
Cool.
And they're thrilled because their credit's saved. I mean, it's a great technique. I love it, and they're usually the sellers super happy.
Can you search pre-foreclosure on Zillow or no?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So go to the More tab and go all the way down and just make that your. You can say auction, like search for auction and search for, because a lot of go to auction.com. That's probably even easier.
Okay.
And look through and find dates that are 2 weeks into the future that it's going to go to auction.
Okay.
Okay. Sweet. All right, let me bring some. Hey guys, I'm going to bring everybody else up on stage, and then I'm going to go run to the restroom real quick. Bashir's going to come up here, and Bashir and I are working together And so I'm going to have him pitch you while I hit the rest. Bashir, how are you, buddy?
I'm well. How are you, Trent?
Hey.
Oh, it may be my Wi-Fi. Give me a second. That came in a
No
little
worries.
choppy.
What time did you, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me? Can you see me?
I can hear you. Yeah, you're good.
Okay. Okay.
See you.
All right, you're good.
This always helps. If you're having Wi-Fi problems.
Yeah, I know. It's the magic wave, right? No, I got a pretty early
works.
started. It was a good start.
Good. Okay. Bashir, I'm going to have you. You're going to, you want to do your pitch real quick and I'm going to run to the restroom?
Yeah. So Trent and I are offering one-on-ones to students. It's a two-part, reason why. One, we want to be able to make sure you guys can get the necessary personalized sessions and attention you need if you're looking for further understanding on just methods, objections, or anything like that. But two, also, Trent is offering to help me out personally from just a weird position life's put me in. But with the one-on-ones, he's offering to donate all the proceeds to me as well. So if you guys are looking for A, to just help out, or B, to get some further understanding on what it is you're looking at, seeing, talking about, writing, if you don't understand how something works, or you're not sure the process in which you should be doing to even look for a house, just things like that, and you're kind of not really interested in talking in front of 100 to 300 people, reach out to me. For donations, Trent and I will sit down with you. They're 30-minute one-on-ones, but I'm going to be honest, they've been going over. Like, I think every single person that we've had a one-on-one with was at least 40, 45 minutes. So it's really about you getting that understanding on what's going on. So if you're interested, reach out to me, DM me, and we'll get that set up. And Trent's back. Give me 1 second. I'm going to go check on his AirPods that Richard dropped off arrived. Be right back.
What, you got AirPods?
Yeah, I won the trivia last night after Richard's live stream, and it was an amortization question. I speak numbers. So I won the wheel spin, and there was a pair of AirPods, and I helped the student out with a trust deal right after. So I'm gonna go check on those AirPods and check on that student, and we'll see how things are going.
Oh, that's sick. Okay, so I don't know if Bashir's told you, I don't do one-on-ones. The only reason I'm doing this is it was the only way I felt I could give Bashir a little bit of a leg up. So your generosity is going straight to him. I won't be taking a penny of it. He just needs to get a little bit of a backlog so he can kind of crawl out of this unfortunate situation that he got thrown in his face. So again, I usually never do any one-on-ones, but I really want to help Bashir out just because he's a good dude, and hopefully he's on mute and can't hear any of that. So because I don't want his head to get too big. Oh, I guess he can hear it. All right, let's go to AJ.
Hey, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, perfect.
All right, this is my first time on video here with you guys. Man,
Nice.
loving this whole community. I've been signed in for maybe a month or so and going through all this stuff and learning a ton. Anyway, real quick here, I got a offer. I sent it to you, Trent.
Okay, let me check.
This is in Toledo.
All right.
If you got that. Anyway,
Got
a great rapport with this realtor. It's a little deal. It's 60. Their ask is 65,000. And
okay.
I came at him and said, it's been 55 days on market. I said, geez, anyway, made my proposal. I was saying, okay, well, I can lowball you. And nobody's happy with a lowball. You guys have been probably lowballed to death. And he said, yeah. So I said, well, how about this? Instead of 65, I put it in the buy box and it came back at offer 70. It was just above 70, so I cut that down to 70. And did I send you the buy box cartel? What I did?
No, that's no.
Okay.
I've got that in my brain.
Yeah. So I'm just wondering if I'm out of bounds here. I've, kind of.
No, and what's great is usually buy box is way too high, and so they must have made some adjustments because that's a little closer to where you want to be.
Well,
And they're willing to do seller finance.
yeah. Well, what happens is on PropStream it says linked linked properties, 681 linked properties. So this is a big trust deal. And so I said, well, I told the realtor all that. And I said, so, with all these properties, and he said, yeah. He says, as it turns out, he's got properties in the Midwest and all over the place, but this is the only one. It's an outlier sitting in Toledo, and it's a little piddly deal in the grand scheme of things. So that's his motivation to get it off of his books. So I proposed, it came in above 70. It was like 72 or something. I said, I'm just going to offer him 70. And let's see. I reduced the down, and I reduced the offer. It was like $270 or $280 a month going forward. We didn't even talk about balloon, and so I'm thinking, is there something in here or not? I don't know. I went ahead and sent him the LOI, but he was saying, he goes, yeah. He said, this thing could. He says, maybe we'll get some traction with this one. I said, yeah, good. And then he's got some other properties. But we'll see. I don't know. What do you think? You got any thoughts on it?
What I love about this is it's, since they have so many things, if you come through with this and stay in touch with them, you've got a friend for life.
Yeah.
That's huge. So taking a little bit of hit on this one might be okay, but I mean, we still have to sell it.
Right.
So we always have to, let me just find. And what are you finding the comps to be?
Man, it's hard to find comps on this one. It's such a small property.
Okay.
Well, this isn't answering your comps question, but I did check with okay, so this one, just real quick for some background, he was saying that it recently was certified under Section 8, and there's long-term Section 8 tenants in there, but what they're paying, for rent is like 601, and between Zillow and PropStream, the estimated rents are more like 790, 850, something like that.
Okay.
So it's and the current tenants are up in January, so there's room to sort of broom them and raise the rents, and so longer term it could be a stronger play.
Well, and it's sometimes brooming them out is not the best thing to do, because then you have to do repairs and you have to get it fixed up for somebody. These guys are okay with it, and so they've been living. What I do sometimes is I just instead of raising rents, I ask them if they want to do fix up little things or whatever, still get value out of them. But having a renter is so much more valuable than having an empty space.
Yeah.
And so I do a quick comp, and I believe it or not, their purchase price is way over what the comps are in the area. So the way I do it, I'll show you real quick. It's my it's kind of my quick comps, because it's a pain in the butt to do the whole, go within a quarter mile, don't cross over any freeways and all that stuff. So here, let me just show you reol quick. I'll share my screen with you guys.
Yeah, for quick context too, when I was talking to the realtor, I said, well, I don't want to really lowball you or piss anybody off, but I said, the offer that I gave him on the cash was 45.5 on a 65,000 ask, and from PropStream, the seller bought the thing maybe 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, at $5,000 or $7,000 less than that. So, I lowballed him on the cash, and he seemed to like the higher. So anyway, on
because it looks like it's double what it is in the. So here, let me just show you a real quick trick, so you can see where you are on Zillow. First of all, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that needs to be repaired. I don't think you figured that in at all, correct? Did you figure any of that into it?
No, I did not.
Okay, so who's paying for that then? The repairs.
Well, I mean, it passed Section 8, but it does need repair.
Well, but it needs repairs. Like again, keep in mind, if you're owning it, do whatever you want, but you got to sell this to somebody. So it needs a good paint job. We gotta market this thing and make it sweet. Okay. So here's my little quick deal. Like, and so to be honest, this would be probably for me a $10,000 deal. Like I would offer 10 grand. Okay, because it needs a lot of help.
You mean as a cash offer?
I mean, as a cash offer for $10,000. I'm brutal, and I tend to get really good deals. And people are like, "How do you get such good deals?" It's because I'm brutal. And when they say no, I move on, and then I wait for 2 months, and then they call me back, and they're like, "Hey, we really want to get this thing off the books. So we'll do your 10 grand." Okay.
Yeah.
So
So
these guys are okay with living kind of, you know,
I know,
and whatever, which is, that's fine. That's great. So, but again, we got to sell this to somebody else. And again, if you want to buy it for yourself, then, you know what you're getting. So here's what I do to find comps, because it's really a pain to do it in the perfect way. And everything I do, I like to give you guys shortcuts, because again, the most important thing for me is that you're on the phone talking to realtors and setting time bombs. And so you just set them and see what happens. And stay organized and make sure you follow up. Okay, so this is the front page of Zillow. I go down and there's this map, and we go past this map, and we go all the way down. And I love this little map. It's so easy. Boom. Now you go to satellite. Oh, I'm sorry. You go to these two the arrows to widen it out.
Okay.
And then you go to lot lines, and boom, there's all your comps. Okay. So. You know, how sweet is that? So now you're looking and you're like, okay, we got 65.
Trent, real quick. The valuations that we're seeing on the rooftops, those are Zillow estimates?
That's estimates. Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So that's not stale prices or.
No. So look at this. 65K is your house, right? 30, 71, 19.
30s,
yeah. $500.
Okay.
$500 for
Yeah.
$900 for land. 15K. There's a house there. 16K, 12K, 3K. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
So,
okay.
We're not in Beverly Hills, I'm pretty sure. So that one's high. Do you see what I'm saying? That's why they're like, anytime a realtor's like, oh yeah, that sounds good, then you're like, oh crap, I gave them too much.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, in this case, okay.
Makes sense?
Yeah. In this case, he was saying, well, I think I could get this, he said, I think the seller will like the idea of Sellerfi. So, yeah. So that's useful.
Now,
okay, satellite with the rooftops.
Yeah, isn't it sick? I love it. Okay, so if he's good with seller finance, now we come back and we say, we can do 7% down on their price. So it's a high, it's. I don't love the price, but it's not horrible if we get a long balloon. So I would come in and say 7% down on the 70,000 that you offered. So that's less than $5,000. And then his rents are what'd you say, 700?
They're currently rented at 610, but it looks like the rent estimate was higher than that, but still I put in the 610.
We don't care. Yeah, we don't care about what it could be.
Right.
It's the other thing. People, when they sell you something, they're like, well, and there's a big lot in the back. You could put a full.
Oh, you could put a
course.
second story. Yeah. No, you can. I'm not.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly right. So don't ever believe any of the you cans.
Yeah.
You could put a
Yeah.
wheel back there. You're like, nope. Okay. And let's offer them as payments, $100 a month. Okay. Because for this guy, he doesn't care. It's just mailbox money. He wants to do whatever it takes
Yep.
to get rid of it because it's in his,
Okay.
it's just kind of a pain. And that's beautiful that you found out the motivation. The motivation in this case is not money. Okay?
Right. Yeah.
The motivation
Simplicity.
it's in a location that he just doesn't want to deal with it. Like he's like,
Yeah.
I've moved on. That was one of my first houses. I made a mistake. I just want to see it gone.
Yeah, this actually is my first. If it goes through, I mean, like you said, it probably won't get taken up by a buyer because of
It's tough.
Yeah.
But it will if we do 7% down. We do $100 a month payment,
Okay.
and then don't even mention a balloon. And if they ask for a balloon, tell them 10 years. Okay.
Yeah, actually, in this process, the balloon never even came up. I didn't bring it up,
Yep.
and he didn't come at me with that.
So we don't want to
that's
bring
good.
the balloon or the interest rate. And if for some reason they're like, well, we got to make sure we get interest on this. Say, how about this? I'll give you another $5,000 on the purchase price. Because if you go into an amortization calculator.
Oh yeah, I was watching the other day when Richard Richard puts a little. It's negligible. It's nothing. So
Nothing. Like,
Yeah.
Okay. So let's just say amortization calculator. Let's find one here. Nope, I don't like that one. This one is good. Okay, so the loan amount is $5,000, let's say, right? Well, this one would be $75,000. Loan term, if we can do 10 years, that'd be great. We're going to go backwards on this one. I think it's going to be, we actually want to just see what the difference, well, let's see. How did we do that? No, so every month, we're on a different kind. Oh, there we go.
if it makes any difference, I know there's a lot of people that are wanting to get on here, but I'm pretty clear on this one. I for my own self, I need to study the either the Skywatch or what I need to learn that and be more comfortable with it. But as far as the amortization thing, what you're covering here, I'm clear about your point. Yeah, and I don't want to take up other people's time because they got.
Let's just throw it in real quick.
Okay.
I'll just show you real quick what it's going to be. So this is the wrong one. Total interest. Oh, I don't know where it is. Okay, yeah, I think you're probably right. Let's beginning balance interest, and so I need a payment. Okay, well, yeah, let's not worry about it. But it is negligible. So if you have to avoid any kind of balloon or interest rate, just throw out another $5,000, and you're going to be totally fine.
I guess from this point, I'm thinking that he's going to come back and say, "Oh, the seller loves it." You know what that offer is that I just told you, and then I'll have to say, you know what? By the way, geez, my underwriters looked at it closer. I sent it to them too, and they said, I have to back up on this one and reapproach. And
just tell the comps don't support it. Say the comps don't support the offer. So and you can blame it on your loan officer, like just the loan guy.
Those guys, you just can't keep them happy. They won't. Yeah. Another quick question too before I hop off. I was having trouble getting to, I guess, the offer oven. There's one of them. I can't quite find it where I see a ton of tutorials, but then when I hit like say Control V or something, then it says copy, but it doesn't say download this so that I have it on my system.
You'll have it automatically once you copy it. You have it.
Okay. Okay.
So, and just go up to the top and it will say copy of, the calculator. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Once it's copied,
Okay.
then close out of it and you'll find it in the shared, your shared, folder on Google Drive, and it'll say copy
Okay.
of the offer.
Yeah. Okay. I got to tinker with that some more because it's useful. I adjust the numbers in the Skywatch or the offer oven, and I can't get it to do. I'll change the amortization, and it doesn't change the numbers over here. I'm thinking, that's me. That's operator error.
What's happening is you're on the wrong calculator. There's a drop down menu, and you just pick the one that because some of them won't let you do the other ones. I hate the calculators. I don't know if it's just because I'm old. I hate them, and I won't use them. I do everything in round numbers and simple. Like everything I do is numbers and simple.
Yeah, I've been watching you, and you say, okay, look, it's a 1% rule. Boom, that's a simple thing to do.
Exactly.
Percentage of this, boom, that's simple.
Yep. I like the simple because
man,
I want my deals to be so ridiculous that they're so easy to see. I don't want I got it down to 12.32% of cash on cash. I'm like, nope. I want to see, hey, it's 30% cash on cash. I know I'm making $3,000 a month. Every month. Like, okay, well that's easy. Like that's going to be an amazing deal. I'm taking that. Okay.
Yeah. Incidentally, with this one property, I was actually calling on a different property from a different agent, and then this guy calls me back, and we're building rapport. We're talking to other stuff, not real estate, and he says I'm the other guy's partner there's another property on a different street, and he said we were talking about that one. And then he says, incidentally, since we're talking and shooting the shit, shooting the breeze, he says, sorry about that, Trent. He says, we're partners. But he says, I have this other property too to look at. So this lesser one that we were just talking about. So anyway, we got other things. So I've been nurturing that. So anyway, thanks for all your help. This is
absolutely
really great.
It's all about those pocket listings. I'm telling you. Get on the phone, get on the phone, get on the phone, get on the phone. It's all I can ever say.
Okay. All right. So, great, man. Thanks so much.
Absolutely. Happy to help. What's up, Robert?
Right.
Later. Robert, you're on mute. And I'm sure your voice is amazing, but we can't hear it.
Yes.
There we go. Now you're set.
That work?
Yep, you're good. What's up?
So I submitted a property. I've been kind of lurking in the back, and I'm finally getting out there and getting back on the phones.
Good.
I submitted a deal to Buy Box Cartel, and it was for I'm drawing a blank. It's right here, in Georgia.
Okay.
And when I put the information and said there's nobody interested in that city and that state. And
as far as their boxes, right?
What was that?
Is it just according to the buy boxes that were available? Is that's what you got?
Yeah, I don't see any buy boxes for creative
in all of Georgia. That's crazy.
I got two windows open here, and inside buy box, under the buy boxes, there's nothing for creative.
Richard's team took down the creative buyers from buy box. You're only able to see the criteria for fix and flip and Section 8.
Section 8.
If you do want to submit a creative deal, you can go to #submit creative. I'll put it in chat for you, and that's a better way for you to get your creative deal across. Didn't mean to cut you off.
Okay, because I think because there was somebody. I mean, I'm trying to figure out Discord. There was somebody that even said, "Hey, look at all the duplexes available in Macon, Georgia. So I did. And I found a 10, actually 10 units, 5 duplexes. And when I, when I put it in, that's what it showed, that the message, no interest in Macon. Yeah, it says no buy box for this state, Georgia, and city, Macon. So, Bashir, you said you're putting it in different. Okay, submit. Okay,
Yeah, if you have
that's
Yeah, and
that's
so
where we do it.
yeah, if you've got duplexes, I mean, have you run all the numbers on those duplexes, or are you just getting started?
Now, I'm practicing playing, but it didn't even. Yeah, I mean, I just hit a dead end with that. I've got information coming from the agent. He's supposed to send it to
Okay,
me
good.
today.
Yeah, perfect.
So listen, I think what Bashir just gave me is what I need just to take the next step.
Perfect.
I'm not new to this. I'm getting back in after a little sabbatical, so I think I know what I'm doing, but I just got to play the game here. So I will see. You will see this bald-headed face again sometime soon. Okay.
Bring it anytime. We love the bald-headed. We're
All right.
bald-headed family.
All right. I'll take those hashtags and I'll take a look. Thanks so much.
Alrighty, bud. See ya. Thanks, Bashir. When you have those answers, that's awesome because you know me. I'm not really super savvy on where things are in Discord because I'm not too bright. Okay, who wants to come on next? If your camera's on, I'll pick you. Otherwise, I will move on. There we go. Hey, Ryan, what's going on? You're on mute, just so you know.
Hey, Trent.
How are you?
I'm good, sir. How are you?
Good.
Good. I'm new, and I live in a market where there's a lot of solar panels. And I find that there's a problem with a buyer trying to get out of a property that has equity, but nobody wants to take over the solar panel loan. So
Yep.
Is there a workaround here where maybe there's a niche to be fed on with solar panels and owners being frustrated with not being able to get out of that property because or long sell times because of the solar panel issue?
Well, more times than not, it's a situation like on Monday. I bought one in where is it? It's in Texas, in San Antonio, and that was the big rub. And so she was totally happy with taking nothing down and me taking her house over completely with the solar panel loan as well. Zero money out of pocket. So sometimes it's a good motivator. Like it's something that they're like, oh, nobody's going to want this. If the solar panel, you got to find out what it's, how much they owe and if it's legit. Some of those the solar panel companies will come in and lock people into these horrible deals, but they lock them in and it's a part of title. So that solar comes with the house. It's not going to be uninstalled. It's going to be a big part of the sale. And so it's a great motivator. Like, hey, you owe 20 grand in this. How about I just come in and take over both loans? I'll take the loan on your house and I'll take that because the argument is that 20 grand they owe personally. Okay. But it is attached to their house. So you're kind of giving them an extra 20 grand. But
Okay.
the reality is it's coming with the house either way. So it's just really part of the mortgage.
So can I ask you a little bit about that deal and how you structured it? So did you do a trust movement with that so that it took the solar panel loan and the home loan, rolled it up into one?
Yep. So when we do the trust, the seller, we're building a trust for the seller. The seller's putting those into the trust. So the property is in a trust. You can't get rid of the solar. It's just sometimes just people have a hard time with the payment. But a lot of times that ROI on that solar is already to the point where you're making money because you're saving so much in electricity. So Yeah, so we do the exact same thing that we would do. We just kind of ignore it and just make it part of the trust takeover and the loan.
Okay.
It's a great motivation. It's a great way to tell people like, hey, I can't take it over. It's got the solar. So, either you're gonna have to cough up the money for the solar, or I can just take over the whole thing. And they're like, really? You would do that? And you're like, well, it's on there anyhow, so it really doesn't matter. So it's kind of one of those things where you should be able to just get into it.
When you were talking about sometimes solar companies lock them up into weird situations, can you give me an instance of that so I can know kind of what to look for?
What they'll do is they'll do a high interest rate on the solar, but they'll do it for a long time just because they want to make it. But the payment will be low, but the terms might be high. So sometimes it's worth just paying off that loan. But you got to check and see because the solar they're looking for the long-term money, the solar companies, and so a lot of times they'll do those long-term loans with a penalty for paying it off early. And so sometimes it's just kind of a thorn in your side for a little while, but that's how you can wrap it all up into the trust. Oh,
Hello.
Hey, I think you froze for a minute.
Sorry about that, guys.
No worries.
You were saying higher interest rate with a long term makes the payment low, but it covers problems in the back end. Basically, is what they're doing.
Yeah, exactly. Because when they're selling, I don't know if you've talked to one of these guys. They're like, "Hey, I can get you in this for $100 a month, and look at this. You're paying $160 a month for your electricity, and so for that now it's going to be cut down to $60, and
Mm-hmm.
It's all true and it's all real, but that's the long-term loan is where they're making their money.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Trent, for your time. I appreciate it.
All right. No problem. Okay. CYM. What's going on?
How's it going? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
All right. I just want to say thanks in advance. I love everything that you guys are doing and really, really appreciate it. It's been super helpful.
It's fun, right? Have you gotten bit by it? Yeah, I mean,
I've
it's a treasure.
so much. So I found a house that was on the market for 246 days. They took it down about halfway and did a bunch of renovations on it, and then it didn't sell again. And so they just renovated it more, and they just put it up. I called the second agent on the listing. Actually, it's his house. So we talked for a little bit, and he was just talking about how the market is slow and all this stuff. So I offered seller finance, and he seemed interested. I sent him an LOI, and then he wrote back and he said, one sec. He said, "Do you have any deal references? And can you send me an example of some other deals you've done?" Now, this would be my very first deal.
Yeah, no problem.
So I asked him. I asked the Discord. I asked Stephen W. yesterday, like, how should I proceed? And he just said, lean on the credibility packet and say that you work with a lot of people, and if there's someone in particular. So I wrote back that basically, and then he went silent. I can pop the details in the chat if you want to check.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, using that credibility packet's great.
I feel like I didn't answer his question. I feel like he's like, oh God, just because he was really fast before that, and I think I might need like a JV or someone to push the deal over the line or something like that. Because the numbers are really good.
Yeah, no problem. I'm happy to push it over the line. Yeah, and you can JV with me, no problem. I can make the phone call. What happens when we're first starting off is we're trying to gain credibility, and we think we need credibility with the realtor.
Yeah.
But if you come out and say, hey, I'm a brand new investor. This is all new to me. So the more you can help me through this process would be great. They are disarmed completely. They can't say anything. Like they can't be like, "Hey, you're dumb." Nope, they're not going to say that. And it's a great way to disarm somebody. It's almost like when somebody wants to fight you and you just turn your back and walk away.
Right.
It's completely a situation where they're like, "Yeah, buddy, let me help you through." Okay, so but if you come in and you're like, "Hey, I think it's really important that the amortization is done over this because I believe in amortization so much."
Totally.
They're like, "Oh, this guy has zero credibility, even though he just sent me all this stuff." Okay, so don't try to be more than what you are at this point. And just say that you run numbers for a company that's Grant and Taylor, and your job is to be a deal finder, and so you're kind of stage one, and you really want to lock this thing up because from what your numbers are, and you're going to get them approved by everybody. They look really good. So it's one of those things where the more honest you are, the better. So
Gotcha.
I think that's where you might have gotten locked up a little bit. Okay, so this one's doing a 24% cash on cash return.
That's with maximum. It's in New Orleans, so that's with 320 insurance, which is maximum hurricane. The insurance was at 80 on Zillow, which put the cash on cash way higher, even higher. And I wanted to not mess around, so I did a 10% down payment, but 0% interest, and I felt like it would go pretty quick when people see these numbers.
Your numbers are good. Yeah, your numbers are solid. Yeah. So now we just need to get back in touch with the realtor, and you can say, "Hey, I talked to somebody on my team, and they said they really want to give you a call and chat with you because we really like this deal, and if you're willing to accept it, we can get it all done."
Okay, so just double email them.
Well, no, just call them. I want you to call.
Okay.
Anytime you can call. And just say, "Hey, I've got one of my partners standing by to chat with you to give you a little bit better idea of what we're thinking and how we're gonna proceed. Because I totally understand you need credibility, but I'm new to this, and so let me get somebody who's a little bit more seasoned to talk to you, and you guys can
God, that would
speak."
be amazing.
Okay.
Cool. So what should I tell them as far as your time frame and like what works for you?
I'll give you a Calendly for me.
Okay.
Or you know what? Hey, Marilyn, can we give him a JV? And can you add my calendar?
By the way.
Hey, Christian. So give Christian the student help form, but also add in the buy box if you can, just so. I'm sorry. The what do they call this? It's the new offer oven, but I can't remember what it's called. And let's take that on, and we'll send him my Calendly as well, and then we'll work it out. Is she here? She's usually pretty quick. She might not be here today.
I think I sent you a friend request a little bit ago. So
okay,
you
perfect.
can find it easily.
Yeah. Oh, I think she's off today. Okay, hold on. Let me. I'll send it to you. So it's
Looks
in
like she's typing.
Oh, is she typing? Hey, hi. Gotcha off guard. Okay, it's all in your DMs. Is the Calendly in there too, Marilyn?
Amazing. All right, cool. So I'll send him that Calendly link, and I'll give him a call now.
Okay, cool.
Thanks so much for your help. Be in touch.
Okay, and we can do it. I mean, try to get it done today if we can. So because my brain is mush after 2 days. So
I'm gonna call him right now.
Okay, perfect.
All right, thanks a lot.
Okay, later, bro.
Later.
Hey, Will.
Hey, what's going on? Can you hear me?
Yep, you're loud and clear. What's going on?
Awesome. I've got a verbal agreement for a trust offer. They're ready to go. I need to get the mortgage statement. I'm expecting that on Monday or Tuesday.
Okay.
My thing, I just want to make sure I kind of know the details of what I need to do once I get that signed. So for title company, does it matter?
Nope.
No. Okay. And then is the TC going to help set up the trust? Because obviously I'm not in direct contact with Jeffrey Hatcher.
Yeah, the TC will
Okay.
help.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. And then let me see here. There was a couple more questions. So it's cool to just use a Trek contract purchase and sale agreement, send that to escrow, and then I'll have a contingency that we're switching to a trust document written on that.
Yep.
Okay.
Perfect.
Got it. Okay. Awesome. Thank you. There was an agent that's telling me, let me see, I have the message right here.
She wants to be your rep. She wants to represent you, I bet.
No, I did have one agent try to strong arm me, manipulate me,
They
because he could
always
tell I
do.
was new, try to act like I need an agent.
Yeah.
No. It's not that. This agent is open to it. The client is open to it, but they're not convinced that Garden Saint Germain will protect us from due on sale. The argument was that the mortgage agreement, yeah, it's right here. The mortgage agreement says that it would still be due on sale, even with the trust in place. I said, okay, well, that's not the case. We're gonna have them hold 10% of the trust to protect us from due on sale. They're not really convinced on that. How would you overcome that?
Okay, so the biggest thing about this deal is we're taking over and we're going to continue the payments. So I don't know why any bank would be like, "Oh, we don't want you to send us payments." As long as the bank isn't alerted that it's been switching hands into the trust, they don't care because they're getting their, the payments are being made, everything's being taken care of.
Right.
The second you alert them, then they're like, "Oh, wait, I want some money out of this one." Now we're not okay with it, and now you're gonna lose your loan, and you gotta change it up. So yeah, that's the only time. If you really think about it, they're just getting their payments, and it's all automated. There's not some person watching. Not that they would need to be. Anybody that owns anything of value should have it in a trust, and so. It happens all the time that people put their homes in trust. Every single property I have is in a trust. And so it's not something that's going to alert anybody because the payments are being made. And so the Garden Saint Germain Act does protect that. So you can send them, just look it up on Google and send over to them like, hey, read this over just to make you more comfortable. But yeah, so it's one of those things where everybody thinks the sky's falling, and it's one of those things where you're like, well, nobody's going to care because everything's working out and everything's, we're paying on time. It's to our best interest to make the payments because if we miss two payments, they get everything back. They get the down payment, they get the improvements. If we put in a new roof, a new water heater, they get all that. That's all for them. They win the lottery. And so that's the way I explain it to people the best I can.
Okay, got it. I like that. Lucky for me, that's not the same agent that I got the verbal agreement from. So one of them's going smoother than this one here. But I do have another one. They're thinking of a short sale. And I'm like, well, no, let's not do that. They're in pre-foreclosure. They have some arrears. So my thing is,
how much in arrears?
I don't know yet. We're gonna figure that out Monday, I believe.
And in those situations, ask them if you can get onto the to their mortgage the portal for their mortgage, so you can look around and see exactly where things are. It's the only proof you have of exactly how much they're behind, because there's also going to be lawyer fees that are involved in that because the lawyers get involved at a certain point and they start charging. So Richard doesn't like that strategy. He's like, no, you can't do that. That's scammy. I'm like, nope, not if they agree to it. They're totally fine with it. So another way to do it is just say, hey, if you don't want to give me the password, because the worst I can do is come in and pay off your house. So
oh no.
You know what I mean? I'm not going to be taking anything. But if they want to, just have the realtor get the login information, and you can do a Discord call or a Zoom meeting, and just have them go over it and say, I just want to see it live and real, just so I know nobody's forgetting something like the lawyer fees. But find out how much they are in arrears, and if it works out, you can, and I've done this several times, day of the auction, you come in and you say, hey, you're behind 11 grand. Here's 11 grand, and just give me your house. Because otherwise,
Right.
you're going to lose the house. You're going to lose all your credit. And so I'm coming in. I can make it good, and I can do it in 5 minutes. All I do is wire the cash right to the bank. Bank's good to go. They're happy. Everybody's happy, and you've got a new house.
Okay, got it. That makes sense. Let me ask, if the arrears are too high and it kind of messes up the deal just based on the value of the loan we're taking over and everything, because obviously we got to stay below a certain percent. So if it's too high, is asking for a partial claim where they wrap the arrears onto the back end, is that fraud?
No, that's not fraud. If they agree to it, a lot of times what they will do is they'll say, hey, if you get yourself caught up in the next 3 months, we'll add all that. We just want you to make your payments for the next 3 months as they are, and if you do that, then we'll put it on the back end. So that's up to the bank, though. And so you want to have it in a trust before that, if you can.
I'm sorry, it cut out right there. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, got it. Can you say that last part again?
Yeah, so that's not fraud at all.
Then they'll do it?
Yeah, so sometimes they ask for proof that you're going to make the payments, because up to this point, they have like 6 months behind in payments. They want to see those payments being made, and then they'll let you throw the arrears into the back of the loan.
Okay, and so if the seller is unable to make those payments, then it's kind of just move on. Assuming the lender wants that proof, they don't always ask for that, is what you're saying.
Or that's when you buy the house, is what I'm saying too. If let's say like the house I'm dealing with in San Antonio has $100,000 in equity.
Yeah.
Okay. She's behind, and so we're going to come in if it goes to that point and bring everything up to date. As long as that arrears are less than 100 grand, you're in the positive. So this one happens to be like 10 or 15. And so we're going to get that equity. She's happy to leave because she's sick of it. She doesn't want to deal with it. And so that's the dream scenario. The other dream scenario is day of, like whatever your property is, find out exactly how much the arrears are, find out exactly what their equity is, and base the equity not on their purchase price, but base it on the like 5 comps in the area and pick the lowest one.
Okay.
That's going to be your equity.
Okay. Got it. I can do that.
Cool.
I think that takes care of all my questions. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Happy to help.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Okay. Take it easy. All right, guys. It's 10 o'clock, and Bashir has got calls for me for the rest of the day. And just a quick reminder, I do not do one-on-ones. The only reason I'm doing this is for Bashir, because Bashir has been so ridiculous. I mean, he's so solid, and he's been in my lives a ton. And honestly, he reached out and said, what do I do here? I got this situation and I need help. And I said, well, all I can give you is my time. And so let's you sell it to the students, and I'll donate every penny to him. So take advantage of this. I think it's really important. I think it helps him a ton, and it'll get you some of the answers for the questions you've had. But honestly, show up 8 to 10 every Monday through Saturday. It's the best way to figure out what's going on in this deal, and it's confusing. A lot of it's confusing, but it's fun too. You're here because you want to be here. And so let's not waste that money. Let's you've got your gym membership. Let's go to the gym. I'm probably the wrong person to say go to the gym, but you know what I'm saying. All right, that's it for today, but I'll be back on Monday, 8 a.m. to 10. Okay, guys, take it easy. Thanks so much.